Hey everybody, good evening. This is Tonetta, your relationship coach here at Speak Your Truth. I actually just wanted to just come in and do a random video actually while I was trying to get my dinner together. So, and also include some of the findings and some of the things that I've been, of course, talking to people about and finding out and realizing that I should be including in this particular business, I guess I put it that way. And also inside the group so you all can, of course, get the information as well. So I just want to say hello again. I'm Tonetta, the relationship coach just here at Speak Your Truth. And I want to welcome you all to this random video. But like I said, I definitely want to bring you all something tonight, just something different. And I have done cooking tutorials and stuff like that before, but I haven't actually done, sorry about that, y'all, a random video into the group like that. So I just want to make sure that I'm doing something a little bit different at times, but also bringing you some information and stuff like that as I'm doing so. And I'm just cooking some salmon and making some veggies actually. But the reason why I'm doing this video, because I figured I might as well talk to you all while I'm doing this. I've had some interesting conversations with a few people. And hey Ray, how you doing? I hope all is well. But I had some interesting conversations with a few people lately, I guess I put it that way. It was about, of course, relationships and things like that. I was chatting with them, talking to them along their journeys and things like that. And of course, just in speaking to them, and of course, then hearing this video this morning I was listening to, it didn't have anything to do with relationships at all, but it had something to do with whether we're aligning with our purpose and things like that. So like I said, and speaking with the folks over the weekend, I was like, okay, just listen to what they were saying, of course, about men. Well, actually, both of them were actually women. And they were kind of course, down and out because they were, of course, been looking for guys and looking for men and wanting to date and wanting to get married and all those kind of things. And one person I actually had a conversation with the entire weekend. The other was just kind of short. But the one for the entire weekend, of course, just getting to know her, talk to her, that kind of thing. Just trying to find out kind of what her mindset was. Hey, Maria, how you doing? I hope all is well, sis. And she was just letting me know that, of course, that she had been looking for guys for this long, these many years, that kind of thing. And then started asking me, of course, what kind of prayers have I prayed, I guess, to, of course, bring a guy into my life. And like I was letting her know, I haven't prayed at all for a guy to come into my life. I mean, yes, I have a partner now, that kind of thing, of course. We've been dating or in a committed relationship for, what is this, like a year and a half now, I think. But like I was letting her know, sorry about that, that's the stove, y'all. It's 350 degrees now. But just talking to her, like I said, chatting with her, and she was, of course, asking about the prayers. What kind of prayers have I done to, of course, bring a guy into my life, and how did I find my current partner and stuff like that. Like I was telling her, I didn't pray at all for any kind of man. I never have to come into my life. I haven't prayed for any particular guy or anything that I've had. Like I told her, the only thing I prayed for was just my happiness. That was the prayer I prayed January 2018, of course. That was the first time I had ever actually prayed. And of course, saying that God helped me, that kind of thing. I was unhappy at the time. I was in a relationship at the time. Of course, was not happy. And we've been in a relationship 7.5, almost 8 years by that time. And of course, I just wasn't happy. So of course, I prayed to God, of course, for my happiness, for my inner peace, for me to, of course, I did pray for people, but it wasn't for a man to be in a relationship with. But just praying for people to come into my life to, of course, help me learn as far as about, of course, God himself, the universe, that kind of thing, and the Bible and things I just did not know about life, I guess I put it that way. Also, like I said, my main thing was more about happiness and my inner peace and just getting out of the relationship I was in because I was unhappy and it was stagnant. I saw it going nowhere, and that had been the case for at least a few years before I even prayed that, actually. I had already knew that. I just never took the steps, like I said in the video last week, to, of course, put things on a trajectory where I was going to, of course, attempt to change the relationship altogether. I guess I'd say that. And like I said, in talking to her, it just made me think. I'm just like, okay, are people out here thinking that you can just pray up? Well, I guess, which I know anybody can pray about anything. But like I said, I mean, I don't know. People are just assuming that you can just pray one day and here come a few years later you'll have a man or a partner, that kind of thing in your life, or be married or that kind of thing. And of course, in talking to her, that's kind of how it, to me, kind of how she was coming across, I guess I put it that way. Like I said, it may not been her entire intention, but like I said, the way that I was taking things, I was just like, okay, and other stuff that I was letting her know as well. Like I told her, because she was asking for my advice and what can she do and things like that. And like I told her, I mean, I can tell her anything I want to tell her in the world about men, about relationships or anything else. But if she's not actively, hold on, y'all, give me 1 second. I'm washing my hands, y'all. I got fish all on my hands. Okay. But like I was telling her, I can tell her I can be a coach and or whether I'm a relationship counselor, therapist, whatever it is, it does not matter. I don't care if I'm a pastor or anything else. I can tell her all these things about relationships and how to date a guy and how to find a guy and all these things. But like I told her, that was never my purpose, never my intention behind any relationship that I've had. Like I said, the last time I prayed as far as just bringing peace into my life, yes, I did find a guy, that kind of thing, months later or whatever. But the whole thing was that I was working on myself, like I told her. I'm asking her, of course, about her past relationships and that kind of thing, and how they worked out, and whether she's healed from those things, all that baggage that she had, and that she was letting me know, and she never really answered my questions. So in my mind, I'm thinking she probably did not. But like I said, all the bitterness, all the unforgiveness, all the perspectives that we can have as far as men are, because that was some of the comments. Men are no good. She always finds the dumb guys or the junker guys or whoever guys she's looking for, I guess. But like I told her, the main thing is that you're getting yourself together, not depending on some man to do that for you, or depending on somebody else to bring whoever it is into your life to have a man to do all these things with. Like I was asking her, how are you preparing yourself for a relationship? Like I said, I never really got the answer at all for none of those kind of questions. I just got that she'd been working on herself and that kind of thing, and that was really about it. But I was trying to ask specific questions about, as far as, like I said, the bitterness, and because I can tell that's kind of how it was coming out. I put it that way to me, and I had just met her actually. But like I said, in telling her and anybody else, I don't care if you're in a committed relationship in this group, or if you're dating in this group, or if you don't even have a man or a woman in this group. Just keep in mind that we're all individuals at the end of the day. It does not matter what kind of relationship you have with whoever it is you want to have it with. If you're not a whole individual, if you're not, of course, have already, I know nobody heals 100%. I know that. Of course, we all know that. But of course, if you have not been working on yourself as far as trying to get through life, trying to heal all the things that have been broken within you, whether that was child sexual abuse when you were younger, rape when you're older, whether I'll be talking about domestic violence tomorrow, whether it's domestic violence, whether your parents have left you, abandoned you, or somebody or other, I guess, in your family have abandoned you, or did all these things, or whatever it was, growing up, a lot of those things still affect us as adults. A lot of it does. Sometimes we just don't realize that. But then add on broken relationships, a guy that's cheating on you, or a guy that then slept with 1,000 women, or I guess behind your back, or this kind of thing, or some man that's treating you bad, talking to you crazy, all that kind of stuff, or some woman. Like I said, that just adds on to all the baggage that we have. And like I said, at some point we have to take it upon ourselves to unpack all that baggage. Nobody's going to do it for us. Yes, you can pray all day, but like I know one of the scriptures that I always remember, because it always sticks in my head. Prayer without works is dead. You have to do something and take some kind of action behind your prayer, not just, of course, pray about it and expect for this baggage to, of course, unpack itself, or expect for this man to come into your life or this woman to come into your life. You're going to have to do the work. Do the work, the same kind of work you're going to do in your relationship, trying to work with your partner, get to know your partner, their beliefs and their values and all those kind of things. You have to do the work on yourself as well. Not just, of course, getting it from, well, you can jump from relationship to relationship, but just keep in mind that you're going to keep getting the same kind of guys. Like she was letting me know, every guy I've dated, they've always tried to use me. They always tried to abuse me in some kind of way. Talk to me crazy, whatever it was. You're going to keep getting those same kind of people in your life, the same kind of John, Dick, and Harry, but they, of course, are the same exact person, the same exact behavioral patterns that you, of course, are attracting. You have to realize that at some point, I don't care what relationship you're in, you're dating, single, whatever, you have to realize that we're all individual people. And at the end of the day, you have to get yourself together. Like I said before, I'm sure I posted in the group probably a while ago about how relationships do not complete us. They, of course, can help us grow in those kind of things, in those kind of arenas with the person that you're with. Yes, that's fine. But as far as them completing us to make us happy, to make us love ourselves more or anything along those lines, yes, those kind of things may come up. And they may, of course, happen. But if you're going into a relationship that you're not even whole yourself, you're still carrying all this baggage, you're still haven't forgiven the last person that hurt you and cheated on you and had 49 kids by somebody else or whatever it was, or the guy that was, of course, beating on you in the past, you have not forgiven those people to move on. Forgiveness, as I always say, is not for them at all to say that it's okay what they did. I don't care what the heck they did. Whatever it is, I'm sure if it's hurting you and it's triggering you, it's not okay. The forgiveness is more for you. And thank you, Ariel, for tuning in this evening. And this is a random video, y'all, just to let you know again. But I just want to come in with these thoughts that I had. But, of course, like I said, the forgiveness is not saying that you, of course, approve of anything that anybody in your past has ever done to you, molested you, beat you, cheated on you, whatever it was, and whatever kind of bad relationships or bad partners you may have had in the past. The forgiveness is for you to, of course, be able to move on and to move forward. For you to, of course, unpack all that baggage. I don't care if you had not had closure for relationships. I haven't either. I've been cheated on. My guy had three kids at the time. I didn't know, until I found out. But like I said, that was in the past. That was a marriage that I had. And if I had not forgiven him, in order for me to, of course, move on, to move forward in my life, I would never be the happy, jolly person that you see me now. I'm sure I probably would not be in a loving relationship and that kind of thing either. We have to understand that in order to, of course, move on, to move forward, to be happy in our lives, we have to be the ones to change all that. Like I said, to unpack all that baggage, to, of course, start forgiving people for all the wrongs that whatever they did. Like I said, it's not to say that anything was right. It's just to say that you're willing to, of course, move on with your life, to move forward, so that these folks, whatever they did, the cheating man, the cheating woman, whatever it was, won't be, I guess, controlling your life in the future. I guess I put it that way, if that makes better sense. So I know some folks, I don't want to forgive them, is what's the point? And they remain bitter for years and years and years. And believe it or not, yes, I'm sure some of you may know some women and men who are bitter too. I've talked to many of them, actually, a whole lot of them, actually. And like I tell them, the same thing I tell anybody else, all that bitterness at some point is going to kill you. Whether stressed or you're losing your mind, you're just going crazy, whichever the case may be. We have to learn how to unpack all that stuff. It's not just, of course, we just get into a relationship and things are going to be over and all of a sudden we're fine. You have to learn how to, of course, take care of yourself and self-heal, heal yourself. I guess I put it that way. As far as, like I said, forgiving whoever hurt you in the past. Learning how to, of course, move forward in your life. Learning how to, of course, shift your mindset to know that every man that's out there in this whole world is not a dog. He's not dumb. He's not crazy. He's not trying to use and abuse you all the time. Those are traits that usually we attract, I guess, in other people. I put it that way, and I'll get to that at some point in some of the videos and some of the other materials that I start putting into the group, actually, because I guess with me thinking about all these things and, like I said, talking to her, those are kind of some of the shifts that I want to make as far as in the group and the material, the information. It won't take place right today, just to let you know, but this video will start, of course. This is the first starting video, just me talking about these things. Just how we as individual people have to learn how to get our own stuff together in order to, of course, attract whatever you want into your life. I don't care what it is, if it's a man, if it's a car, or whatever it is going to be, another job. We have to fix ourselves first. Like I said, the relationship, I don't care what it is, man, woman, lesbian, gay, whatever kind of relationship you're in, that's not going to fix you. You have to fix yourself. Like I said, there's a lot of times I know I've been in relationships as well. Like I said, I was cheated on in my marriage back in the day. I was in my 20s. I'm divorced now, of course, that kind of thing. But I took, after that marriage, we were legally married. I don't even know how many years, y'all. I guess 5 years, I don't know, something. But whatever it was, we separated, of course, halfway through. Once I found out whatever happened, and I just had to save some money for a few months so I could move out on my own, that kind of thing. Still married, I just, of course, separated. Like I said, I took 3.5, almost 4 years. I chose to become celibate. I chose to, of course, I did date a few times, maybe like a handful of times, like 3-4 times, nothing more than that. My main thing during that whole time, I called it, I guess it's personal development. But I was, of course, learning how to love myself after all that drama, after all the being cursed out by these girls and whoever it was that was dating, had sex with my husband, I guess you can say, had kids by him, all these kind of things. I'm just like, okay, I have to clear my mind of all these things. I could just imagine if I wasn't, of course, I was very upset, of course, at the time. I was very upset, which I've said that in videos as well, which anybody would be upset. But at some point, we have to learn how to drop all those things so we can move forward. Like I said, I was, of course, in school trying to get my master's at the time, that kind of thing as well. And I can just imagine if I never would have cleared all that baggage, my life probably will not, I'm sure, be where it's at right now. I can tell you that. Because I know, like I said, and speaking with other people and, hold on, y'all, and things like that, like I said, we go through a lot of stuff. And if you're not clearing all that baggage, if you're not, of course, trying to take care of yourself, we call it self-care, whatever you want to call it. Soul searching is what I called it back in the day, because I didn't have a name for it back then. Back in my 20s, that was almost 20 years ago, I guess. But like I said, that was a name that I thought that, I guess, that it was called back then. That was something that I knew I had to do. I couldn't just go into another relationship and just, I want to go date this guy now, I want to go do this, I want to go do that, when I wasn't even whole, healed from the relationship of all the cheating and the disrespect or whatever case it was. Like I said, I knew that I had no idea what it was called back then, but I knew that I had to do something, and I could not just, of course, hop back into another relationship and expect all these things to happen when I haven't even attempted to even clear myself of those things. Yes, it took me years, of course. I mean, I'm clear of majority of it now. I guess I can say that. And no, it's not easy. I know folks think it's just easy peasy, but no, it's not easy to, of course, clear yourself of different relationship issues. I don't care if it's with your parents, with your partner, whoever it was, but we just have to know that we have to, at some point, work on ourselves. Yes, you can talk all day about how men are dogs, or how women are dogs, or how whoever it is the dog. Are they're all messed up, all men are messed up, they all cheat, they do all these things, when you haven't even looked at yourself to see what all you do. I guess I put it that way. Like I said, we always are quick to blame the next person for something that happened in our life and all these kind of things. Yes, as a child, yes, granted, you can't control all the things, of course, that are none of the things that probably happen in your life. But as an adult, we control all that. You control what you do with this person, what you say with this person, how you date this person, whatever you're going to do. So I just want you all to keep that in mind as we're going through, of course, with this group and the information that I'm going to start putting in the group as well. Like I said, I know that, because I know I said this back when I first started the group and I shut it down back in March, I think. March and April. I know I started it like a few days or a week almost, and I shut it down. Then I opened it right back up. I guess I put it that way. So like I said, I'm back to it again, but I'm just trying to, of course, figure out what's the best way, at least for me, to, of course, start explaining some of these things to you all. And like I said, with the conversation that I had with the ladies over the weekend, and one of the coaches groups I'm in, videos this morning talking about alignment, your purpose, and that kind of thing. And it just, something just sparked, I guess, this afternoon in my head. I'm like, okay, I need to start incorporating more, talking about, at least for me, the individual, and how we, of course, relate to our relationships. Like I said, if you're not whole as an individual, I know that your relationships with your spouse or your partner is probably not going to be all that well, I guess I put it that way. And of course, that always leaks into your family, your kids' lives, and that kind of thing as well. So like I said, I definitely want to start bringing you all those things, those types of things, since I'm here talking about it in this video. But like I said, that was definitely something that I had an eye-opener, and I guess a revelation is what I put on my page earlier, as far as some of the things that I need to shift as far as this business, this group, and that kind of thing as well. So I just kind of want to bring you all this video while I was cooking tonight, I guess I put it that way. And I want to thank, let me see who all, my hands are kind of, let me see, Ray, Maria, Ariel, Patty. Thank you all for tuning in this evening. And I hope that you all thought about something that I've said in this video, as far as us wanting, not just me, but all of us. At some point, I know we've said we want a man, we want a woman, we want this, we want that. But we have to make sure that we're looking within, making sure that we're, of course, whole first before we can, of course, dive on into other relationships that's going to be a success for us. Like I said, I know I have known a lot of folks, of course, including myself, who just jumped into a relationship and didn't think anything about it, and it turned out wrong or turned out crazy or whatever the case may be. I'm sure folks have good relationships from that as well. As far, I guess, if you want to work on it, continually work on it, that kind of thing. But at some point, whether you work on it or not, we have to understand that in a relationship, I guess, if it's two people, there's two people who are, of course, coming with all kind of beliefs and values and all kind of background, history, limiting beliefs, generational curses, all these kind of things that's going on, all kind of ways that your family have done things that you've heard, of course, in your family or your neighborhood growing up about relationships and relating to others and that kind of thing. Like I said, we have to start working on ourselves in order to clear all those kind of things. I can't say every single thing, but I know there's a lot of things that I grew up on as a child and as a kid, as a young adult, thinking about relationships and how this went together and how these people fit together, that kind of thing, which now don't even hold true in my life. I guess I put it that way. A lot of things that we, of course, learned growing up, a lot of that stuff does not hold true in our life. But like I said, that's something that we have to do as far as our actual, whether you want to call it soul searching or doing your personal development or just self-awareness, just to find out who we are and what we're here for, I guess I put it that way, and what our purpose is, and and I guess how we're going to love others, how we're going to be friendly against others, what kind of partner we have. We have to find all that stuff out about ourselves first. If you don't know what kind of partner you want, you just hopping from relationship to relationship, you're going to get any kind of old thing that's out there, settling for less than what you deserve, I'm pretty sure. Don't have any values or any kind of boundaries or any kind of anything in the relationship, which we have to have that as our basis and as our foundation. So I definitely want to stop there, as I'm going to just keep on talking all night. I got to finish cooking, actually, y'all. So I just want to say thank you all again for tuning in. And I hope that something that I said in this video this evening resonated with at least one person, I guess I can say. Because I know that, like I said in the beginning of the video, the reason why I did this video was because of some ladies I was talking to. One main one was talking about, asking me about how did I pray my partner, what are some prayers that she can use, that she can pray a man into her life. And like I responded back to her, was that I never did pray for any man. I prayed for my happiness, my sanity, and my peace. And whatever came after that is what came after that. And like of course, we chatted and stuff like that. Like I was telling her, in order for you to get anybody in your life, I don't care what you're looking for, man, woman, whatever kind of relationship, you have to be whole within yourself first. And like I said, I know there was some bitterness, there was some unforgiveness. She did tell me all that. But like I said, at some point, we have to realize that in order for us to move ahead with any kind of relationship that you want, I don't care, like I said, if you're already in a relationship or you're married or you're dating or you don't even have one right now, that's fine. But like I said, we have to know ourselves in order to, of course, move forward and be able to, of course, unpack all that baggage that we have from past relationships, from our parents, from our employers, or whoever it's from, to, of course, make sure that we can lead a life that's whole, fulfilling, peaceful, happy, I guess I put it that way, I guess to the best extent that we can. So like I said, that's the reason why I did this video, just to make sure that I talk about and start talking about how we just can't pray a man into our life. Yes, we can pray that a man come into our life and that kind of thing, but 9 times out of 10 that may not happen, especially if you're not, of course, setting yourself up for a man to come into your life. I guess I put it that way. So I just want to say thank you all again for tuning in this evening. I know I have said a lot because this was a random video, but I just want to say thank you again, Ray, Maria, Ariel, and Patty. I hope you all have a great evening. And I hope that whoever catches the replay, there's something that you can, of course, gain from this video, from anything that I said. But just keep in mind that all the things that I said in this video, I just want to make sure that you all know that, I mean, the group won't change a whole lot, just to let you know. But some of this information that I just finished talking to you about, as far as working on the individual person and how we relate to others inside of our relationships, that is kind of the direction that I'll be heading in, I guess I put it that way, with a lot of the material, a lot of the information and that kind of thing. Because I know how important it is, like I said, for our relationships to, of course, be well. We all want that. We all want success in our kids' lives and our family lives and that kind of thing. But if we're not having that in our own life, we cannot expect for it to happen outside of that. So we definitely have to work on our inner selves and our own selves, our relationship with ourselves, in order for all those other things to come to fruition, in my mind. I guess I put it that way. So again, I just want to say thank you all. And for those who are watching, thank you. For those who catch the replay, definitely enjoy y'all. Have a good night. Bye-bye.